It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, at long last, it's over. Julio Jones has been traded, not to the Seattle Seahawks, and it's over. So we can finally start talking about other things. I couldn't help but talk about it a lot in the last several weeks because, it would be such a big deal if it happened, and there was so much buzz around it was hard to ignore. But it's over. Julio Jones will be traded in the next couple of days to the Tennessee Titans. It's technically not official yet, but it's going to happen. Forget about it at this point, right? It's not falling through at this point. The Falcons got an offer that was good enough, and the Titans are happy enough with the terms of the deal. So I know some people are going to be disappointed. I know some people are going to be relieved. I know that some people are going to be more in the middle. There's going to be a wide range of takes. I'm kind of more in the middle of it. I was intrigued by a Julio trade, but I also recognized that there was a very good argument to be made that we didn't really need him and that we maybe had bigger needs at other areas. So I'm okay as long as the trade compensation is significant enough to where I would have struggled to be willing to make that move. So let's talk real quick about what Tennessee gave up to get Julio. Falcons get a second round pick and a fourth round pick in 2023. The Falcons also give up a sixth round pick in 2023. Trade is now official. So the 2023 fourth rounder is basically worth a 2022 fifth rounder, and the 2023 sixth rounder is basically worth a seventh rounder because with each year that you go out, the value of your pick drops by a round, more or less. That's generally the rule teams use. So basically, the Falcons gave up a second round plus. And that's not a lot more than I wanted to give up. It is a little more. I think it would be fair and reasonable to say that I would have liked to maybe do something more like a third round pick and a player or just a second round pick flat. That's kind of what I was aiming for with Julio. But I would not have cringed if we had decided to go a little bit further and give up that second round plus, which is what Tennessee gave up. Now, the most interesting thing, and probably the thing that really stopped us, is that the Titans agreed to take on as much of his salary as they could, so 15 mil plus this year. The Seahawks did not want to make that sacrifice, which is a big reason why we didn't end up making the trade. So we may have been willing to match the pick compensation, but we would not match the money compensation. And as for why I think that, you have this tweet from Brady Henderson earlier today. Julio Jones' contract was a big roadblock for the Seahawks. They don't want to restructure contracts to free up cap room. They did it to add Sheldon Richardson and Dwayne Brown, but they were needs created by injuries. Jones would have been a luxury. This is the part that I'm not feeling stellar about, because I have gone on record many times talking about how you can restructure Russell Wilson's contract and create $12 million additional dollars in cap space in 2021, and you'd be kicking $6 million down the road in each of 2022 and 2023, and you would make him harder to cut. But I've also said many times that if the opportunity to get a really good player is there, you have to take it. You have to be willing to restructure your franchise quarterback in order to make that deal happen. And again, I want to reiterate, Wilson is not the roadblock here. Wilson did not say, no, don't restructure me. I don't want you to restructure me. What happened was that the team decided not to restructure him. So there are two ways to look at this, because we're moving on from the Julio thing, okay? Because, look, if we had given up what Tennessee gave up, I would have been like, ugh, but I would have been like, okay, let's go. I would have been like, okay, that's a lot. That's a little more than I want to give up, but I can live with it. I can accept it. I think Julio's going to be good for us. I would have been okay with it, but I wouldn't have felt like, oh man, we just fleeced them Falcons. No. And if the Falcons believe that the Seahawks are going to be better than the Titans in 2021, which is debatable, then it would have been really hard to top it. Because if they feel like that second round pick from Tennessee is going to be better than our second round pick, It would have been really tough to do anything. You would have had to go second rounder and third rounder, kind of maybe. And I don't want to do that. I don't. I don't want to do that. So we're forget about the Julio thing for a second. Let's talk about this part here, where one of the reasons why it didn't happen is that we don't want to restructure contracts. Two reasons why that might be. One, we want to have that extra 6 million in cap space next year so we can spend more money on extensions, on free agents, on whatever. So, A, we're just thinking about, hey, we want to give ourselves maximum flexibility in 2022 to acquire more players, which is reasonable. Or B, we want to keep our options open as much as possible to trade Russell Wilson next year when his dead cap hit will only be 26 million. Okay. Um $26 million dead cap is, it happens. Okay, teams take that cap hit sometimes if they really want to get rid of a player. The Eagles are basically doing it with Carson Wentz right now. They're eating insane dead money on Carson Wentz because they feel like he's toast. But realistically, unless Russell Wilson is just the worst quarterback in the league this year or close to it, he's not going to be bad enough for you to eat that dead money. So my feeling is in for a penny, in for a pound with Wilson, okay? If he sucks next year and you want to try to keep your cap a little more flexible so you can move him, I mean, obviously I get it. I understand what the mentality might be with that, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. I feel like if you have the opportunity to maybe make Wilson's job easier by getting great players around him, you should just restructure it. And that $6 million that you're saving in 2022, I don't think it's going to keep you warm at night, okay? I don't think the $6 million of non-dead cap that you will have to eat in 2022 if you move on from Wilson is going to keep you that warm at night. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This I'm okay with not trading for Julio. I really am, because what Tennessee gave up was pretty significant, and I understand we may have not been able to beat that without mortgaging our future, which, look, Pete Carroll might be okay with mortgaging our future, but I would prefer not to, because I'm going to be a fan of this team for a long time, and he's probably only going to be the coach of the team for a few more years. My problem is this team doesn't want to restructure Wilson. And if it's because they want to have 6 million extra dollars next year for free agency and extensions, okay, I get it. I don't know if I agree, but I get it. But if it's because we want to maintain flexibility on a future Wilson trade, look, I think you're already married to Wilson. I really do. And if that's the reason why, if it's because we want to keep our options open on trading Wilson, I think that's bad. All right, that's really all that can be said. So we're going to move on to other players now. You know, the Fletcher Coxes of the world, the Jason Kelce's of the world. Some people Gilmore like Gilmore. I'm not really a big fan, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I know some people are going to be down. I know some people are relieved. So let me know how you feel in the comments. But yeah, Julio Jones is going to the Tennessee Titans. Will not be a Seahawk. See you guys later. Peace out.